Hey, Carrie.
I have a very
Hello, everyone.
Hey guys.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Chrissy.
We have a Chrissy Anderson on our team, too.
I know. I saw her last week and I was so confused.
But you were. That's funny.
Yeah.
Hi, Lee.
I just did a live Facebook thing on our group page and it was so tacky. I was like,
It wasn't.
like laying on the bed because I was trying to help Benjamin with his science homework. And then I started the video and I'm like laying and my hair was all messed up. So I'm trying to fix it. And then I'm like, I just stood up off the bed. I'm like, oh, sorry. That was really bad.
All right, look at all the people that are getting on. Way to go. Way to go. Awesome. Well, I'm going to just hop right into this because I have a lot of notes. So I want to make sure that we get to it. Is that okay, Jen?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So I'm going to, everyone.
Okay. Why can I put this? I want it on top of foot. Can you? Yes. Can you get down one?
All right. Perfect. All right. Are these gonna, I can see, but I just look. All right. Hi, everyone. It's Anne, and this is Anne and Jennifer's, I don't know. We don't really have a name for our call, do we, Jen? Like, we'll have to come up with something crafty. Yeah. We're good at craftiness. We're really good at that. So just want to shout out some fun things. Everyone, you guys are rocking it. You're killing it this month, which is so freaking fantastic. People are promoting mid-month to director. We have people double promoting, which is awesome. From star, they just skip right over superstar consultant right on to director. So congratulations to those that's happening to you. That's awesome. So keep up the good work, and we're rooting for you. If you have shared with us where you want to go this month, we are totally rooting for you. So hopefully the flash sale today and Friday was really good for you. I did a few things different this time, and I got 2 more orders than I did last week, but 2 more is better than nothing, right? And they're random people, so it didn't even really matter. I didn't even do anything because they just picked me. And do you guys know that when you see on your order history, and if it says in parentheses Scentsy.com, that came from someone doing a search and picked you for the consultant because they are forced to pick someone. So that's where that is coming from. So you make sure that you touch base with those people because they are customers that you want to make lifelong customers, that they don't have a Scentsy person, that they just picked someone. So make sure that you touch base with them. I texted mine right away saying thanks for your order, and I'll let you know when it ships, and just kind of building that relationship so that hopefully that you can be the Scentsy person for them. Okay, so like we said the last time that we met, we are going to talk about events and fundraisers. And Jen, I'm going to unmute you because then you can help me with anything that you can think of that I maybe miss. But so first we're going to talk about events. And there's so many different ways to find events. And I'm going to see here. There's some. All right. Okay. So kind of want to let you guys know where, what, when, how events are all working out.
Daddy wants the rest of her Popeye.
Okay, someone's on. There we go. Trying to mute everyone. If you come in, make sure that you mute yourself. Okay, so events. Where do we find these? How can they be? When are they? How long do they last? Set up. All of those questions were kind of asked on my team page when I went out and kind of gathered some info from them to see where you guys, how much you know about them and what you need to know about them. So the reason, I'm going to take a step back, is why we're talking about events and fundraisers are because they are easy for your PRV to enhance for the incentive trip, okay? And also events are great ways right now, especially to get new customers, to build those relationships, and then maybe possibly have them host a party and or join your team. So when I was first doing events, I wanted to sell. Selling was like my thing, my jam. I wanted to make sure that I sold a ton. And now it's more of, I use events to create relationships, whether it's with the relationships of the vendors around me, because they're not always happy in their adventure of what they're doing. So you can build relationships there, but also to build relationships with the people that you want as customers, right? And it's a perfect time because people are out looking for stuff to buy for the holidays and that sort of thing. So where can you find events? You can, a lot of the events that I find are either on Facebook, and if you search for your area, I know there's a ton here where I live, there's a lot of vendors that are pulled together, and we post all of the vendor events on one page. I started one 7.5 years ago, and I have over 10,000 people in my group, which is just crazy. And I don't even, I barely find events on that page anymore because there's so many people that it's hard to compete against that many people, but they're out there. The biggest one that I do is word of mouth. If people know who I am, they're looking for Scentsy, they will, contact me. But you can look in the newspaper, church bulletins, your other direct sales friends. I got one this year for a small business Saturday, because of another direct salesperson invited me to the event, and I looked and there was no Scentsy, so I messaged them right away and said, hey, do you need a Scentsy person? And sure enough, I'm in. So watch that. Like, if people are inviting you, make sure that there's a Scentsy person. You can ask your friends on social media. You can put out, a blanket sentence or, post about, do you know any events that are happening, craft fairs, something like that. Let me know. If Scentsy's not there, I'd be happy to be there. Radio stations, that sort of thing. So more than likely, those event people will have a form that you fill out. You would fill that out. Here in Minnesota, we have a tax form. I would guess that most other states would have that as well. Just letting them know that you are a direct sales company that you work for, and that Scentsy takes care of the taxes, that sort of thing. So those are kind of like the only things that you would have to do before that are kind of like the back office stuff. Make sure that you always make a copy of your check and of the registration form, and so that's for your tax write-off. And always bring that with to the event, because sometimes 2 cents people show up to an event because maybe the organizer made a mistake, whatever. Typically the person that got their check in first is the one that stays. So if you don't have your paperwork, you can't prove that you were first. But then also, if you were second, just respect that, and oh darn, you don't get to stay, or maybe work something out with that other vendor and other consultant and work together, that sort of thing. But always bring it to the event, because you never know, and it's always good to have those details with you. So what are events looking like? Churches, local bars, malls, fairs. They can be outside, they can be inside, they can be anywhere. Larger businesses can have a market, whether it's a holiday market or something like that, maybe in their lunchroom, and they bring in a bunch of vendors. I mean, there's so many different ways that it could look. Don't just think of one avenue for that. Watch for compliance for malls. And Jennifer, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are not able to have cash and carry in a mall location or any retail location. So here in Minnesota, we have a lot of indoor malls because it's so cold. And it's really, we used to be able to set up in malls with our cash and carry, but not anymore. So but there's other ways to do that event. So don't like throw it out like, oh, I'm not going to do it, because there is ways that you can do it. So that's that. You can, yeah.
Something that I just was thinking about a few minutes ago was the fact that you can, just an idea that each month you can actually go into your workstation and you can update and like personalize your newsletter that goes out on the first Wednesday of every month. So if you have upcoming events, like this would have been very smart for me to have done last month. I didn't do it, but practice what I preach, right? I've had 3 weekends of events this month. And so anyway, you could go into your workstation and put all that information into your newsletter so that your customers that are getting your newsletters would have that information of where you were going to be that month.
Thank you, because I have like 4 events coming up, and that's great information. Didn't think of that. So awesome. Events can go from 1 day to 10 days to 12 days, whatever. Just watch that. I think Texas is the longest state fair, and you just have to watch that one. But more than anything, I don't think you can go past 30 days of being set up in one particular spot. So if you have like a farmer's market or something like that where you're going to be set up for a few days, that's fine, but you just have to watch that you can't be set up for more than 30 days in one location. So watch that. That's kind of like the nuts and bolts of like events. So I'm going to talk now more about like some of the tips, because I do events, and some of like the things that you bring when you do events. Okay, so first we're going to do what to bring, and I was just kind of jotting down, and you might want to take notes on this if you're going to do events. I've done a lot of them, and I've done very big ones, and I've done very small ones. So the more simple that you can keep it, the better. The less you bring, the better, as in junk. Like, don't bring a bunch of like the back stuff. Try to keep it really streamlined so that it's easy to set up and easy to take down, because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm at events, I'm always the last one out because I have to pack up all my warmers. So don't bring the whole kitchen sink. But the most important things that I could think of right off the top of my head today as planning this is drawing slips, something to put the drawing slips in. I have this little thing that I put, I do a ticket system, but I also use this, and I bring this with me to every event, and then I put the drawing slips that I get, and then I always like clip them together for my events. But I will have them in this, and they can see what is like how many people are in there. But then I also have a ticket system that I do for thank yous, and I could go over that some other time. Maybe not. It may be tonight if we have time. If not, I can do it another time. But so have a drawing box, something to put it in, cash and carry stuff if you wanted to. I got that box at a store that went out of business. Like I don't remember what it was, but it was some store. I bet if you would Google it, you could find one on Amazon. But I love it. When I first got that, they were suggesting to put the item that you were giving away in it so that people could like know that that's that. So I don't know. You could do that. Cash and carry bags. Do not forget to bring bags for people to bring home their purchases if you have cash and carry. Okay. So this is if you have cash and carry. I'm going to jump to one other thing about if you don't have cash and carry in a second. Okay. You want change for like cash for your change, order forms, a power strip, a bag stuffer. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Pens, samples with your business card or any samples that you have, business cards because you want to make sure that you're passing that out, and then signs, host, join, it's a light bulb, like that simple it's a light bulb saying is just still so powerful because there are still a lot of people that don't know what Scentsy is and they don't understand the concept. And now with our element warmers, it's a little bit different, but the majority of our warmers, I would say, are still light bulb warmers. So going back to, and another thing that I would now put on my list that I listened to a training last week and I absolutely adored it. Aspen Calhoun, who was a Superstar director, taught this, and it was super simple. And I'm going to do it with all of my events from now going forward. So I'm going to call these little mini parties. And so when you're talking to people at your events, and this would be, you could do this without any inventory. You could do a mall event and you could just do this all day long and you could get people to kind of get excited about Scentsy. Okay, so you maybe have like a warmer of the month for like your drawing, and you would have your little drawing slips there and you would have the little warmer, and you'd ask people to come and sign up for the free drawing. And if as they're signing up, you can just talk to them saying, hey, like, did you know that you can get free and half price items by, or would you like to know how you can earn free and half price items as well? And so you just kind of get that conversation started of that you do parties. But we don't really want to focus on that word party right away, okay? Because sometimes people go, oh, party, I'm not having people at my house, I'm not cleaning, I'm not doing any of that, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. So that's kind of where you don't want to say that word party. But so Aspen was saying that she had these little pouches, and I got little Halloween ones just because of the holiday that's coming up, but you can do, I've got some burlap ones at Hobby Lobby, but you can use anything really. Pencil pouches really is what you have to do. And I have like 13 testers in here. Super simple, right? And cute. And I have them in this cute little basket, and I'm going to put that on my table, right? So they can pick a little bag of testers. Okay. Then you can say, well, you can take this little bag of testers home with you. You can smell the scents that you find out what you like, that sort of thing. And then if you know of anyone else, just collect some orders. If you maybe collect some orders, and I'll give you the free and the half price stuff. Okay. So then she has this little envelope, just a little envelope like this, manila envelope. She puts in one catalog, 5 order forms, and then maybe just a little form about, I would put my business card in there, a way to fill out, like a form of how to fill out the order forms, and that's it. Like, pretty simple, right? And then she just hands it to him, and she says, I will connect with you on Monday, because if it's a Saturday event, I'll connect with you on Monday and see how it's going, see what scents you like, that sort of thing. And just let them take it home with them. Get it in their hands right away. Not like, oh, yeah, you want to book a party? Great. Well, okay, so let me get your information, and I will connect up with you another day. And then they pick up their phone, or they don't answer your text, or they don't respond to your Facebook message, even though they've seen it, and they've seen it, right? Isn't that frustrating? So this way they have it in their hands, and they're out the door, and they're smelling, they're falling in love, who knows, whatever. Okay. So then there is this document that's floating around Facebook, and I think, Jen, you have it, right? We can post it to our team pages too, but it's get 8 friends to buy 6 bars each, and you'll get a half price warmer and a 6-pack of wax for $6. So super, super simple, right? So then what you do is you have them write their name, their cell phone, their email address, and then the 6 cents that they want. So then when I get it back, I just message them an invoice. Yes, I'm going to have to pay the fee or whatever, but I don't know if PayPal, I don't know if you have to pay a fee that way, but then you can get the money. The host doesn't have to do, the collecting of the money, all of this and that. Like, I can take care of all of that. And then boom, I've got I think it's like a $224 party. Not bad, right? Would you like a $240 party, right? $240.
If you have like 8 or 10 of those and you get them all out at the same time, like, just think, bam, you could have a $2,000 month right there.
Right. Versus if I'm at an event and I want you to buy a 6-pack right there, I'm only getting $30 versus $2,000. So it's trying to change that mindset that you really want to focus on getting parties at your events and talking and building relationships and getting new recruits, talking about the business, letting people know how it can change people's lives, that sort of thing. Okay, cool. So some of my, I got to really hustle. I only got 10 minutes left. Some of my tips for events is plug in the warmers. You have to make them beautiful, right? They sell way better plugged in.
There was no electricity at my event the last 2 weekends.
Get a generator.
No.
I had one where I had to rent a generator, and I am so thankful I did, because I know literally I didn't plug all my warmers in because I didn't have enough, but every warmer that was plugged in I sold. So I mean, it's just kind of like if you especially like Mid-Century and Champagne right now, they're gorgeous, right? But if we don't turn them, if you don't turn them on, then they're not as pretty. So turn them on. I tell my friends, my Scentsy friends, never to sit at your booth unless it's a very long booth, or if you need to sit, that's okay. But maybe get a stool so you're up taller, and not like a big lounge chair, like those camping chairs that you, you sit in. Like, either get a captain's chair or a stool that you're up and more eye level with people. Greet everyone that walks by. How's it going? How are you today? Oh, I love your shoes. Whatever. If you just let people walk by, they're just going to walk by. But if you start a conversation, they're going to remember that you started a conversation. I am one that I'll set up my booth, and I'll have my wax in the front and my warmers behind my wax. And then, everyone tends to go behind them and behind like the warmers. And I do that too. Like, I keep all my non-Scentsy stuff, my business stuff behind my table. But I feel like I always walk around and I'm always in the front with my customer. I'm standing next to them. I'm helping them flip through the wax. I'm not just letting them do that. I literally go and I open them up for them and I put them in their face. And a lot of times people will flip through them and they're like, oh, and then they'll like bend the corner, like smell it. I hate that. Like, just open up the bar wax and get your nose in there. So it's like you have to like engage with those customers. It's not just you're not there just to like lay it out and be like, all right, so I set up, I can just hang out. Really talk about, like, I love checking people out, because it's like, oh, like, did you know that we still do parties? A lot of people, when you're at events, they don't maybe think that you do parties, and it's like, oh, you do, great, whatever. And I'll talk about fundraisers, and I'll talk about joining. If you or anyone has and a want or a need for extra cash, give them my card, and I always throw my card in. And I kind of do that in like a sequence. Like, I hand them the clipboard to fill out their information, and then I have my little bag stuffers is what I call them. So my bag stuffers are a baggie of cotton balls and a thank you that I do with my tickets, and a slip of all the other events that I'm coming up. Okay, so I always let them know, because if they're at an event, they're going to more than likely come to the other events. So I put that all in there, and then as I'm doing that, I explain what they are as I stuff their bag. They'll hand me back my paperwork, and I will then show them, okay, these are cotton balls. This is what you do with them. This is my drawing that I do every month. This is the next shows I'm at. I'd love to see you there. You know, on my little shows, there's you get a 10% off, whatever. So trying to build that rapport with them. And then also, just so you know, we do basket parties, home parties. I love to party. I love to come and share Scentsy with people. And just kind of getting that rhythm down, and you say it to every single person, not just the people that, buy a lot or that sort of thing. Okay. So follow up with events. You have to follow up with those drawing slips. Like, these can be gold for you, or they can be just a paperweight. Okay. So make sure that you follow up with them. And sometimes you have to follow up. And what is Becca's thing? 5 to 7 times before they actually pull the trigger. So not just once, not just twice, if you contact them 5 times and they still don't, then okay, then put them into a document. So then when you're at the show the next time, then you email them, letting them know when that show is coming up. So it's like you're constantly in that rotation of looking for those customers. Okay. And follow up with the orders. Make sure that you call those people just like you do for parties, asking them if they've got it out of the box, how do they like the scents, that sort of thing. So that should be just on your same follow-up as well. So questions about, this is awesome. This chat is going on. I'm not reading it. I hope Jen is taking care of that. Anything else about events? Because I'm going to quick go to fundraisers because I love me some fundraisers. Cool. And my eyes.
And I have a quick question for you. You know how you said you had that clear drawing box and that some people put the items inside to show what they did? Is that out of compliance if you did that at all?
No, I don't think so. Because I typically will have a warmer, if I put a warmer out.
Okay. I thought we couldn't tell them what the item is, not unless they asked. That's what I don't know. Maybe I could be completely wrong. If I am wrong, great. I hope I am. So I just asked.
Don't ask me any compliance questions.
Missy? Where's our Missy?
Does Lee know?
Lee? Yeah, Lee. I don't think Missy Silcox raised her hand. I can't see you, Missy.
There's Lee.
From what I understand, it is not out of compliance. You can tell them what you're giving away because it's, I don't know, it might be considered a personal special. Missy is the pro here when it comes to compliance.
She's like, no.
How do I get on?
You're on.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It is out of compliance. It is out of compliance. We cannot show what we're giving away. Now, I read this a long time ago. We can verbally tell, we can do the word of mouth, but we just can't show an actual prize. That's my understanding. And I'll tell you what I do. I always tell people it's based on the sales at the end of the day. I usually give a little something. At the very minimum, I'm going to give a room spray. I love to give room spray because if they don't own a warmer, whatnot, spray is instant fragrance. So I've been pressing buttons this whole time like, how do I get on? But let's double check this, Anne, because we've done this so long, things have changed. I'm so glad this question got brought up. So my Kelsey, I don't think Kelsey's on. Kelsey went to Scentsy University. She knows policy and procedure better than I do. But I do think it's out of compliance to show what we're giving away. I really do.
So what if you just have a warmer set up in your display and they ask, can you say this warmer?
I do believe so. I believe we can be very creative in how we do it. So it could be like the warmer of the month, right? Because Aspen Calhoun in her video that we watched that we all loved, I believe that's how she had hers done. She was given Jack. So, but let's call tomorrow or read up.
Yep.
I've got a ton of stuff to do tomorrow, but we do want to confirm this for sure because I've got 2 big vendor events coming up. So,
Right.
2 big ones, and I've loved this. I've learned from you. Thank you, Ann.
Yes, and I even wondered like if you could put it in like a gift bag and put it in there, and then like I will definitely email compliance tomorrow and see what the details are on that. Oh my
No,
God.
I really hope that we're wrong. I hope that we can do it, but I just always don't. I just
Me too.
draw some. So,
Yeah, well, I've always been wrong.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll just move it over closer to my display.
Again, I think we can be very creative and it be right there with our display. And if they ask, we can say, well, yes, as a matter of fact, that is the one I'm giving away. But we're not bundling it up in a gift package, you know, where it's right there. I don't think we can do that. But please.
We used to, like, long time ago, we had a sheet that on Becca's page that had enter to win a plug-in and a bar of wax. So that's now gone. So maybe, you know, we can't post it like that, but we could probably still share on our table what it is.
And we can verbally tell all day long. I'm getting battery. We can verbally tell. There was something else I thought of. I've been packing out a bunch of bars for my events coming up, and so and my husband's about to walk in the door. He doesn't know I'm on Zoom Live. So there was something else that's not coming to me, but I love what you said about the parties, go to book parties, go to follow up. I just had a girl on my team tell me she secured an event, doesn't have a lot of stock. I'm like, go watch the video about I couldn't think of Aspen's name, so I'm going to send her the recording link for this and tell her to watch it because looking. So thanks.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, so we only have 8 minutes left, and I have to talk about fundraisers yet.
I know. Then take me off. Go.
Okay, mute Missy. Got it. All right, so fundraisers. I will talk as fast as I can, and you will have to like slow me down or something, or I will just have to do this again. Fundraisers can be teams, families. You can do it like for one person, for 1 million people, however you want. Watch for like people that are looking for adoptions or, you know, pets. Whatever your passion is, if you can kind of try to find an organization that you want to work with, that's great. You can do anywhere from a catalog party, doing the whole kit and caboodle of the catalogs, to buddies, scent circles. You could do the body stuff. The Scentsy Goes and the pods, the holiday cards. You could do a fundraiser just on the holiday cards and having teams go out and approach businesses. So something complete, or even families, so something completely different. They can be anywhere. You can do them. You don't have to have them in the same town. Typically, I do 2 weeks for fundraisers. I do like a kickoff party, and then 2 weeks from that kickoff party, I go and I pick up all the orders and make sure that that I collect everything. Okay, so here's my packet that I do for fundraisers, and I'm going to quick tell you some of my fundraiser tips. Where are they? Okay, so some of my tips that I've done a ton of dance teams, and anywhere from, I think my largest was like 68 girls down to like 4 girls. And I just did some girls that are going to the Outback Bowl in Florida, where they're just doing it by themselves, but it's the studio that's overseeing it, but I'm individually contacting all these parents. And I did I did a YouTube video, and I emailed it to explaining how it was all going to work, all the fine details, and I sent it to the program director and then of the studio, and then she messaged it out to people, and then they contacted me. It's been working, but it's a lot of work because I'm having to meet 4 different people at 4 different times for 4 different, try to group it together if possible. Have a parent contact if you are going to do like a big team or a family or something like that. Have one person that's your contact and have them have extra catalogs and extra order forms, and have them kind of be your right hand person. They're the ones that bring like all the orders to you. Like I have a bunch of dance fundraisers that are like 3-4 hours away from me. So we meet in the middle, and I have one parent that brings me all the orders, and I have one parent that meets me to grab all the stuff to then bring up to the team. So that's been really helpful, and they kind of filter all the questions. Make a video to share with their friends and families. Have them set up Facebook pages and events so that we can answer questions there. The biggest thing that you can do for how to communicate for these fundraisers is to have a parent meeting, especially if you have little people. If you can, I know some people do like a big PTA at schools and such, 300, 400, 500 students. I've never done one that big, but I've seen it happen and seen it done. But that's really not, probably feasible to meet with all the parents one-on-one. But if you have a team of like 50 or, below, it's really good to meet with those parents because they figure out who you are, then they feel more comfortable coming to you. So I do little bags like this, again, of testers, and I have my card on them. I number all of mine so that I know who has what number of bags. I try to make it very businessy. That it's not just like, oh, whatever, if you get them back to me, no big deal. No, you have to get them back to me. So then I give them that, and it's usually just, depending on how many kids, anywhere from 5 to, this one probably has 14, 15 different scents in there. And these are the scents that I just always have extra of. Every time we transition, I keep all the scents that always stick around. So Everything Nice, Very Snowy Spruce, Autumn Sunset, Eskimo Kiss, Christmas Cottage. I mean, it's all the same scents that we've had around for a while. If you don't have this, contact your director or someone above you so that we can get some of these to you, because I have a boatload of them and I'd be happy to share. So then I also give them a folder, just a simple folder. I give this sheet, this envelope, has all the fundraising stuff on the back side. That Scentsy has a way to track all of your customers there. Then in the other side of it, I typically give 2 catalogs and 5 order forms. If it's probably like 30 people or more, I'll do about 5. If it's less, I do about 7, that they can more. I do my full commission when I hand out, and I let them know that it's my complete commission, and so it's either the 25 or the 30%. Now, I don't give them my bonuses. If you wanted to, you sure could, that sort of thing. Some people I know have given even like the host rewards, so they'll use the product that they need to get for the customers, and then they'll be able to use that money that they used for the host rewards to be able to still get the product for the customers, but then to be able to give that money to the organization. I use that for my stock, for my events, that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm less than a minute. Oh my goodness. I do.
Don't hurry. Let's plan on covering more fundraiser stuff next month, first Monday. Do you like that?
Perfect. I'm just going to go till the end though. Yeah. Okay. So then this, I do like a quick little how-to. I need to update this. This is kind of old, but I made a bunch of copies because we don't have like the product code, and it tricks people up. Okay. So then I give them, 5 to 7 order forms, some catalogs. I made this little sheet for myself because when I was first doing it, I didn't do this, and I was losing a lot of my testers that weren't coming back, or I didn't know whose mom was who, and I didn't know the phone number, and I got an Ashley that handed in an order form that I needed to contact the customer, and there was no phone number, that sort of thing. So I made up this little sheet, and I can share it with you guys, but it's just the student's name, the parent's name, and the address, basic information, and then I just have like what bag they have, so I can keep track of all of my testers. I don't know. You can do that. You don't have to. It asks them if they would like a shopping page, so I can go on and make like the individual shopping pages for each person. So, and then I also do a tips sheet that has, I go by page about the catalog, and I do it every catalog. I don't have a catalog in front of me. But page 5 is like the charitable things. What does that mean? Page 17, warmers and diffusers, and I talk about that so that the parents and like the person selling has a few like tips and tricks under their sleeves before